The rise and fall of AC Milan, the untold story. There are clubs that win, and then there are clubs that define an era. AC Milan was not just a football club, it was a dynasty, a force that dominated Europe, built on the foundations of legendary players, revolutionary tactics, and unyielding passion. But with greatness comes the risk of downfall. This is the untold story of AC Milan's rise to glory and its struggle to reclaim its throne. The glory days.
Queste fasi esaltanti.
Adoni che ha ricevuto da Tassotti, parte il suo tiro ed è gol!
It all began in the late 1980s. Under the visionary ownership of Silvio Berlusconi and the tactical genius of Arrigo Sacchi, AC Milan became a juggernaut. Sacchi introduced the high-pressing, zonal marking system that would revolutionize football. With players like Marco van Basten, Ruud Gullit, and Franco Baresi, Milan wasn't just winning. They were dominating
Queste fasi esaltanti.
2 consecutive European Cups. The world watched as Milan dismantled opponents with precision and flair. Sacchi's Milan was perfection, an impenetrable defense, a fluid midfield, and an attack that was simply unstoppable. Then came Fabio Capello, who continued Sacchi's legacy. Capello's Milan was equally ruthless, going unbeaten in the 1991-92 Serie A season. The Rossoneri reached 3 consecutive Champions League finals in the mid-90s, winning the 1994 final with a 4-0 demolition of Barcelona. It was a statement to the world. AC Milan was not just back, they were on top. The team was a perfect blend of Italian resilience and foreign flair. Legends like Maldini, Costa Curta, and Albertini formed the spine, while international stars like Savicevic, Boban, and Weah added creativity and explosiveness. Milan's dominance was not confined to Italy. It stretched across the continent. And let's not forget the tactical discipline of Capello's Milan. Unlike Sacchi's high-intensity pressing, Capello emphasized balance and control. His Milan was a defensive wall with just enough firepower to break down any opposition. It wasn't always flashy, but it was devastatingly effective. The Ancelotti era. After Sacchi and Capello, Milan entered a transitional phase. But it was Carlo Ancelotti who reignited the flame. A former Milan player himself, Ancelotti brought a calm but strategic approach. With stars like Paolo Maldini, Andrea Pirlo, Clarence Seedorf, Gennaro Gattuso, and the Brazilian magician Kaka, Milan conquered Europe once again. In 2003, Milan defeated Juventus in an all-Italian final to lift the Champions League trophy. The victory was special. It marked a return to European supremacy. But football can be cruel. In 2005, Milan faced Liverpool in Istanbul. After going 3-0 up in the first half, they collapsed in the second, losing on penalties in one of the most dramatic finals in history. For most clubs, that loss would linger for decades, but not Milan. In 2007, they met Liverpool again in the final. This time, there was no collapse. Milan won 2-1, and revenge was sweet. Ancelotti's Milan had restored the pride of the red and black. Milan during this time played a brand of football that was both elegant and efficient. Pirlo's passing, Kaka's driving runs, and Maldini's leadership were hallmarks of a team that knew how to win. They weren't just playing football, they were orchestrating masterpieces. Ancelotti's system allowed flexibility, often deploying a diamond midfield that brought out the best in his players. Pirlo operated as a deep-lying playmaker, orchestrating from the back. Kaka, in his prime, was arguably the best player in the world. His 2007 Ballon d'Or was well-deserved. And we can't overlook the importance of players like Inzaghi, whose instinctive goal-scoring kept Milan lethal in front of goal, or Dida in goal, who produced world-class performances on the biggest stages. The fall.
Rumors are saying that the 50 million spent in the summer is more than enough for these 2 windows.
Inter are the UEFA Champions League winners.
But all empires fall. Milan's downfall wasn't sudden. It was slow, almost invisible. The core players aged, replacements failed to match the pedigree, and the club struggled to adapt to the new dynamics of modern football. While clubs like Juventus, Inter, and Napoli invested smartly and adapted their scouting systems, Milan clung to the past. Management instability, frequent coaching changes, and poor financial decisions led to stagnation. Once feared across Europe, Milan now fought for relevance in Serie A.
From catastrophe, Kaka.
For a decade, the club that had once ruled the world could barely make the top six in Italy. The Champions League anthem that once echoed through the San Siro became a distant memory, and the fan base, so used to nights of glory, was forced to endure mediocrity. The team became a shadow of its former self, constantly reshuffling squads and relying on short-term fixes. They tried star signings like Alexandre Pato and Mario Balotelli, but without a clear direction or identity, nothing clicked. Poor financial management and internal politics further deepened the crisis. The departure of key directors and scouts meant Milan was no longer a powerhouse in talent acquisition. It was evident that a new vision was desperately needed. The road to redemption.
Al nostro unico, meraviglioso pubblico.
But legends never die. In 2018, new leadership emerged, determined to restore Milan's legacy. Even Gazidis and Paolo Maldini spearheaded a project focused on sustainability, smart recruitment, and youth development. Young talents like Theo Hernandez, Rafael Leão, Sandro Tonali, and Fikayo Tomori brought energy and fearlessness. With Stefano Pioli at the helm, Milan rediscovered its fighting spirit. The bond between fans and players reignited.
Moments. Milan are the Serie A champions.
In 2022, after 11 years, AC Milan won the Scudetto. It wasn't just a title, it was a declaration. Milan was back. The players, the fans, and the city celebrated as if a sleeping giant had finally awoken. That title win wasn't built on star power. It was built on unity, balance, and belief. The team embraced a collective identity. Even players like Olivier Giroud, seen as past their prime, stepped up and became decisive figures. And in 2023, Milan made it to the Champions League semifinals, reigniting hope and belief across the globe. It wasn't the final destination, but a major milestone on the journey back to the top off the pitch. Milan focused on rebuilding their scouting networks, investing in analytics, and embracing modern football trends. Their youth academy began producing again. It wasn't just a revival, it was a rebirth. Today, AC Milan is no longer just looking back at its golden era. It's building a new one. The club has re-established itself as a competitive force in both Italy and Europe. With a clear direction and a vibrant squad, Milan is poised to chase greatness once more. The story of AC Milan is one of triumph, heartbreak, and resurrection, a reminder that greatness is never permanent, but it can always be reclaimed. The rise, the fall, and the rebirth of AC Milan, a legacy etched in football history. In the world of football, where dynasties fade and clubs rise and fall, AC Milan stands as a testament to resilience. The red and black will always carry the weight of legends, and as long as there's a ball to be kicked, the world will never forget the name AC Milan. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the legacy of AC Milan, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Field Fever Football channel, and ring the bell for more powerful football documentaries. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What's your favorite AC Milan moment? Until next time, keep the football fever alive.